Welcome to this InfoSecurity Europe podcast.
I'm Rick Ferguson. I'm the Vice President of Security Research at Trend Micro. And my job, obviously, the clue is in the title, so it's focused on research rather than product development or sales. And I'm effectively a researcher and content creator, whether that's publishing white papers, blog articles, making videos, doing presentations, or things like this. At InfoSec, I will be talking about the future of cybercrime and the future of cybersecurity, new tech, new threats, new mindset. In my presentation, I will be talking about our research project 2030, which looks at the next 10 years of technological and societal developments and what opportunities that might offer for cyber criminals, and of course, the areas of focus and concern for cybersecurity practitioners and professionals. Looking into the future has never been more important, as we have just undergone or are still going through a huge change in the way that we do business, in the way that we relate to our colleagues, even to our families and our friends. And the acceleration of deployment of technology in new models throughout enterprises throughout the world has really advanced us a good 5 years on where we otherwise would have been. Had we been proceeding at a normal pace with a normal rate of change. So a project like Project 2030 is there to give individuals, organizations, and even nation states the chance to step, at least for a second, out of firefighting mode and devise a more nuanced long-term strategy with a weather eye on the future. In terms of trends and predictions and things that people should look out for next year, doing 12-month predictions in cybersecurity is always a little bit disappointing. And I suppose it's watching someone you live with get older. You never notice until you step away for 12 months or 24 months exactly how much change has taken place. What you can expect certainly from a crime and threat perspective over the next 12 months, in all honesty, is incremental development on the crimes and threats that you're seeing today. But over a period of a decade, when you stop and look back and think, where were we 10 years ago and where are we now? You suddenly see the scope and size of that change. What will happen in the next 12 months? We'll see more ransomware, but we will see criminals focusing more on their alternative means of monetization of ransomware, as the actual act of encrypting data and denying the owner of that data access to it becomes the minor way of making money. And actually criminals will focus more on their secondary, tertiary, quaternary, there's a word for you, means of extorting money from you. And that is in terms of releasing that data for public exposure, contacting people who are a part of that data set and maybe trying to extort them or to use them as leverage against you, and piling on things like denial of service attacks on top of the traditional encryption. They're aware that the return on investment for encrypting data is falling off, and they are very busy exploring alternative means of monetization. And of course, the other area where we'll see a lot more criminal focus is in cloud and cloud deployments, because enterprise deployment of cloud technologies has been accelerated by the pandemic, as enterprises have had to make technology that was previously internally available, externally available for a distributed workforce, and that acceleration brings its own problems. The vast majority of issues that we see in cloud deployments right now are exploitations of misconfigurations or exposure through misconfigurations, and criminals will be very definitely taking advantage of practitioners' inexperience in those kinds of environments.
Thank you for listening to this InfoSecurity Europe podcast.